Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's Needle here and welcome back to Lothric. Last time out we beat Vort, I'm very sure, and then we moved on to the Undead settlement where we discovered the Mindmaker Covenant, which we have right here. Did we check the description of it? I think we did. Malformed vertebrate found by the mad with a queer symbol on its inside, proof of the shackles of the gods. I started a new character just to run to the Mindmakers as fast as possible and check them out. And it's so fun. It is really one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done in a Souls game. I've never really been part of the sort of PvP or co-op community all that much. I play a Sunbro now and again, but I don't really do too much with it. But being part of the Mindmakers has been some of the most fun I've had in a game ever. I think it's been so good. So hopefully we can actually fit some PvP in on this character on this playthrough, record some of it one of these days. But anyway, today we are going to run back to the Undead settlement. We're going to unlock some more of the bonfires, so we have more access to different parts in the level. They're all over, and there's also one or two pretty key items we're going to find. If you guys are using the raw Astora straight sword like we are, +2 especially, then you're going to have a really good time. On that new character where I started for the Mindmakers, I decided to try out the Astora straight sword raw enhanced as well, because I've never used it before, not even on this character, and it's fantastic. It's just so good, as you can see. I mean, on my normal playthrough I was 2-3 shotting those guys with the beat battle axe it was at the time, so this is definitely a much better improvement. Its moveset is good as well, that's the thing. Goodbye, sir. So we have two choices once we go back out to this giant tree. The way we went the last time, if you remember, we went over towards the sort of stable area. That is the way to actually... well, I mean, there are all ways to progress through the level, but that is the one where you can probably find the most useful things to do. We're going to try and take on this absolutely insane group out here, because there's an actual quite important item. You see where that big fat guy is, or woman as it will turn out to be, is kind of kneeling down. Well, she actually has an item right next to her that we want. You can run around the edge. As soon as you start fighting one of these guys though, you will all become hostile. Not all of them together, but as... see, I don't really want to move over there and aggro them and then she gets up, because as soon as she gets up you're going to need to make a break back the way. And you can see she's getting up in the distance there. So now we're going to run away. Whenever this makes that kind of laughing noise, she'll send that after you. You see it like kind of little black spiral. We're just going to keep running away and drag all these guys with us. Whenever she does this, she's going to do that grab. You don't want to get hit by that, believe me. Oh, you don't want to get hit by that either. You can backstab these women, and they go down pretty easily. But yeah, they have a couple of nasty attacks. What do we get? We get the Evangelist robe, so we're going to get some lore for them. Goodbye. Yes, okay, so they have that fire grab attack. They can hit you with the book they've got. It's just kind of really fast, possible stunning type move to kind of keep you in place. If you move too far away, they'll fire that blood magic at you, and if it hits you, then it's going to inflict a ton of bleed onto you. It's not going to complete the meter, but it's going to go probably about halfway if you're wearing standard armour. I apologise about my nose today, by the way. I was out in the sun all day yesterday. It was roasting in this country, and my family had a sort of barbecue, but all it's done is given me a cold, it seems. The Evangelist robe. Robe of an evangelist sent from the cathedral. These teachers, all women, came to enlighten inhabitants of the Undead settlement and sent carriers on the path to sacrifice. So we understand a little bit more about what these women do. They've been sent from the cathedral. Now I don't really think we've had too much information about what the cathedral is or what it does. It's not that cathedral, there's a much bigger one. I actually think it's over there in the distance, yeah. We'll be going there soon, and that's where those women are based. As you can see, it was their job to get people for sacrifice. Now the question is, sacrifice for what? Or to what? Or to whom? And all those questions will be answered in due time, I promise. First of all, we're going to kill these guys. I hate these plough dudes. Get out of my way. You don't even need to backstab them, but I like to make sure of the job. And now we're going to get an Estus shard to help power us up. Oh, see, I mean, there you go. Get out. God damn it, you. I mean, one of the problems I think mages face more than anyone else in this game is just how annoying the new system is. It's not an awful system, I actually quite like it, but let's see. You have your Estus and your Ashen Estus, and you actually have to switch between them and allocate your Estus between them. Now, if you're a mage, you're going to have like half the Estus everybody else has, because you're going to have to split it between your Estus and your Ashen Estus. adding to that, whenever you invade or you're a phantom in someone else's world, your Estus gets halved, both of them, so you're basically working with a quarter of your full Estus, which is quite annoying. I know we're kind of tempted to go through there and see what's in there, but if you do and you keep winding through the area, eventually you're going to come to a trap. You're going to get ambushed by these guys, so if you come down here first, and let them come out, you can deal with them. I thought there was 3, did one already fall down maybe? Maybe not. No, little lonely guy over there, we're going to ignore him, there's no point. Just checking my phone there, see if I'm getting any notifications. You're going to get introduced to another little sort of weird enemy here as part of this trap, as you can see. Good thing about having really low settings on, as opposed to guys who will have ultra high on everything, is that things that can be interacted with are kind of more they stand out a lot more. So while you see this guy is kind of blending into the background, that guy over there isn't, and that's how you can kind of tell that they're enemies as opposed to so charge, and he still managed to get a hit on me. I have no idea how. Charcoal pine resin. I love the design of this area. I think this is really, really creepy and awesome. I have no idea why all these people are hanging up like this, but it's very spooky. Cut these guys down. Large over deserted corpse, and then you'll come round here, and it does not open from this side. But if you go back upstairs to where we were before and move over to the right hand side of the room, here it is. And you don't want to miss this, especially if you're a co-op player, because it's the water of sunlight. So now we have the ability to become a Sunbro. I have no idea what the hell it's doing on a table in here, nor what this table's for. It actually looks like a torture device. So maybe there was a Sunbro who was tortured over here. Here's another sort of, I wouldn't call it a new mechanic because it only really appears here and one other place. This is Estus soup, and it works in exactly as you'd imagine. If you drink it, it kills you. Another fun thing, by the way, is something I learned as well playing as the Mind Makers the other day. If you fall into this room as a phantom, you can't open this door. It doesn't matter if you're a white phantom or an invader or anything, you cannot open that door. Most doors as a Mind Maker and things you can open, but this one you can't, so be careful if a host tries to knock you down here and leave you, because you can't get out. You'll just need to black crystal yourself back to your own world. But we're going to open it and make our way through this sort of gauntlet. It goes down, as you can see here. No. There's that skeleton enemy there, and he's going to, well, it's not a skeleton, but he's sort of hollowed with red eyes, and he's going to aggro as you make your way about 3/4 of the way through. And here he comes. He's not particularly dangerous, he's just faster than some of the enemies you'll fight so far. It goes down very easy, well he does to us. Here's that hole there I was telling you about. That's where those guys are going to jump down and ambush you if you're not prepared. So keep an eye out for that one. And then we have another couple of these guys. You can lock onto them even if they're not active yet, so that's how you can also tell if they're enemies. We haven't seen we got any of the drops from them. They don't really drop anything special, however they do drop 5 feeding souls. And I just find that quite cool because they're obviously just a collection of guys in a cage, so it makes sense that they're more than one entity and they would drop more than one item. A little shortcut down here, don't be afraid to run down. There's no ambush here, none that I know of at least. Soul of an Unknown Traveller. And now you're going to be set upon by a couple of annoying things. You see we've got 3 enemies there and an evangelist up there who's going to fire that blood magic at us. There are places to hide, don't worry. You can come in here. I don't think there's really anything in here. Nope. So there's nothing really to gain by coming in here. If you come down here you can see this little bit in the door. He's going to break that. And then we're going to kind of get lucky and grab the 2 of those. Got the whip. No one likes the whip. Now come over here. Kill that guy. And then we're going to go up and take her on. Oh, yeah. So there you go, you can now... So we survived but she didn't. Okay, that was kind of lucky, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't even care. I was not too sure what was going to happen when she knocked us off that platform, but hey, there you go. Tiny shard! And there's actually another one to be grabbed in this area as well. This part of the map, it all connects. That's something that's really great. You guys know how much I love Dark Souls 2, but if you compare Dark Souls 2 to the rest of the Souls games, Bloodborne, things like that, you can see the difference that a lot of the areas in Dark Souls 2 seem to just kind of sprawl out the way. They're kind of lengthy in that sense, literally lengthy. Whereas, just checking to see if there's anything down here. There is, yep. Grab that, you can see the bonfire just through there, that's where we're headed. Whereas, in these games, there's less areas overall, but they're very dense. There's a lot of depth and stuff to them. And that's really awesome, don't get me wrong, I love it. But it can really lead you to spending a lot more episodes on the one area because you've got so much to get through. Crystal lizard down there, and there's this item just there. I don't really think it's a critical item to get, to be honest, but I just want to make sure there's no items in here, although we can come back here and check that out. There's also a particularly annoying enemy just next to the bonfire, but we can hopefully ignore him. That is not what I wanted to do. And the crystal lizard's off. That was just a complete disaster from start to finish, really. Rather than go back and try it again, I'm just going to go grab the bonfire. We've got 3,000 souls. I don't know if that's enough for a level up, because I've been playing that other character and I've been trying to keep him below soul level 20. I've just not leveled up at all. This one's already level 22. Right, so we can head this way if you want, and there's an optional boss just up there. It is an optional boss, but it's not really one you want to miss out on because it does drop an item that allows you to transpose, as it's known, boss souls into weapons. It's not a particularly difficult boss either, it's sort of like a puzzle boss, so it's not really that hard. But I'm not too sure we want to deal with that right now. I'm trying to think if we can access the other bonfire from here. I don't think you can unless you run all the way back to the start. It's actually just above us in that room. I think it is at least. Checking our time there, we've got 12 minutes. Do we want to risk the 3,000 souls? I don't think you can actually go through that door from this side actually, can you? Yeah. There's a very easy way to get through to that door, and there's another door beyond that you want to go through, but in order to open the door beyond that you need ashes. Now we talked about ashes, didn't we? You need to give ashes to the shopkeeper for her to sell more items, and the ashes are just through that big archway over there. But you can kind of see the arrows from here. And that's from our big friendly giant friend, wherever he is up in the tower. So we're going to need to meet him first before we can actually make our way through, because speaking to him makes him a friend of yours, and that's going to stop him killing us, and it's going to keep him killing all the bad guys. We're going to travel back to the shrine first just to see if we can get a level up, because we might as well, if we can do so. How many shards do we have? You need 6 I think for a +3. So we've only got 3, that's okay. We did see Grey Rat. Did we give him the bone? Let it as one.
Ah, you know him well. Everyone's
right, okay. Well. So this is how Grey Rat's questline works. I know I've just skipped through all that dialogue. I'm thinking back to my own character where I just skip all the dialogue because I don't need it. I really apologise for that. But basically Grey Rat says he's bored in Firelink Shrine. He said that in the last episode I think, if you remember. And he wants to go pillaging. Yeah, there's a number of locations he can go pillaging throughout the game. There's 3 I'm sure. And this first one, he's just going back to the Undead settlement. And I'm just thinking what to put up here. Because I mean we don't really need scale and stats right now, but we will eventually. We don't need any more faith, we're not really going to go down that road. That was just to get the store a straight sword going. I think we'll play safe. Oh, we can't even get a level up, there you go. We need another 300 souls. I'll just do that just now then. I think this is only like 200 about you. Oh, 400, that'll do. What was I even discussing? I've totally forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, okay, we're not going to need skill and stats right now for the raw throw straight sword, but we will eventually whenever we want to actually use a scaling weapon. The straight sword's pretty good, even whenever you increase it to like +5 I'm sure, but or if that's +5 I think it goes to. I think it is. but eventually obviously it's just going to hit a wall where enemies and HP and stuff's going up, and your attack damage literally can't go any higher because you're not getting scaling stats. So you do eventually want to have a weapon that scales. I've not really decided what that's going to be yet. Did that guy drop an item? Nope. And what we're going to scale with. I think strength, as usual, strength's kind of easy mode in all Souls games, isn't it? So that's probably the direction we're going to go in. It's just finding a decent strength weapon. I've been using the Dark Sword, which I know is a very overpowered weapon for PvP, and people basically cite it as the OP sort of cheesy weapon in this game. I just picked it up, found it, but upgraded it and thought it was good. I had really no idea that the community hated it so much, but so I'm not really sure I want to go down that road and encourage a lot more people to use it if it's really that bad. I also think it's so well known to be such a good, if overpowered weapon, that we're going to see it probably be reduced in its viability very soon, so I wouldn't want to recommend a weapon to you guys and then it gets wrecked. So ambush there, cheeky wee ambush, don't be fooled by it. Grab this large silver deserted corpse and you'll see the door straight ahead. That's cool, but careful because there's a little creepy dude on the roof, and that's going to be a running theme for this whole goddamn game. This little motherfucker. These guys love camping out on the roof. Every location. When we get to the big cathedral, you guys are going to be sick of seeing the sight of these guys drop and ambush you. I swear to God. I'll light them up here. Careful though, because behind you, as you remember from the last episode, there's these little dudes. Now, in order to get to the next bonfire, we're going to drop off that bridge and go through that little alcove down there. However, these guys are going to make your life a living hell by throwing firebombs, so we're going to beat them to the punch. Now the problem of course as well with dropping off is that you're actually going to lose some HP. So try and make it a well-timed jump so you can at least take this guy out, because you're now going to be assaulted by this guy as well. And we get our 4th Titanite charge. Now we're only 2 away from a pretty decent upgrade. Coming in here is going to net you another bonfire. So that's good. Checking my time here, we're at 18 minutes, still got a wee while left, 7 minutes or so. So I'm going to use that time to explore this sort of area since it's also optional. Down there, all the way over there, where you can see all those dudes, is actually where we want to go to progress the story. But we don't want to miss out on some of the good stuff as well. So come through here, kill these guys, I'll come back and get what he dropped in a second. All the way around. Ignore that dude. We'll get to him in a second. And grab the hand axe. Hand axe is a starting weapon for the pyromancer, if you guys remember, and that's quite fitting because this, my friends, is Cornyx, the pyromancer of this game. So let's have a listen to what he has to say.
Aha, unkindled, are we? Welcome to my abode. I am Cornyx, an old pyromancer. A crow in his cage, as you see now. But here we are, an encounter for the ages. I hear the unkindled make for fine vessels. Care to learn some pyromancies from this old man?
So obviously we're going to say yeah.
Most wise. A chance encounter should not be squandered. To reiterate, I am Cornyx of the Great Swamp. The pleasure is mine.
So he likes to continue the tradition of everyone in the Souls game being extremely shady as hell, but Cornyx is actually quite a nice guy, don't need to worry about him, got some worker trousers. And he's going to teach us pyromancy, so we're going to be introduced to the new sort of spell sort of mechanic in the game. Those guys are actually pretty difficult to kill one-on-one, so I just got kind of lucky that he stayed there and let me kind of plunge attack him, but never mind that. Coming through here, that's not as important, but if you come all the way down to this bit, we get the fire clutch ring, which fits perfectly well with Cornyx up there. A fire clutch ring, which I'll show you right now. It's showing it, you can see you can't really actually literally see the bonfire down there, but you know what it is down there. Oh, we just got some free souls. Not bad. Fire Clutch Ring increases your fire attack but compromises damage absorption. Ring depicting a hand grasping a red stone. An old fable in Londor claims that the lure of the clutch ring reaches out to the crestfallen who might otherwise be overcome by despair. So if you say you're around Pyromancy or a Fire Sword, I'm not too sure if Fire Sword counts, but if you're running something like that, it'll increase the damage you do with that weapon, but it'll also increase the damage that you take. Look at these guys. Nothing really to see here. Yeah. This way is a shortcut, so if you went the other way, through the archway, to fight the optional boss, right before the boss fog, you can open that door up there, and that connects the sort of whole area from that bonfire all the way up through here and back down. What I'm going to do is link the two bonfires in another way. We don't want to fight all those guys or run towards that door because it's not really going to serve us any purpose right now. So in actual fact, if we run down here, that will take us to an important place that we're going to go to next episodes. Set down. Just going to jump off here because there's no point. I meet the most deadly enemy in the game, the rats. I know it's a running sort of joke, but believe me, that was very lucky. Whenever they do that sort of lean back, they totally leap at you, and you can just totally stun lock you and kill you. Cestus I'll talk about actually in a minute, but as you get closer here, you can clearly see there's something waiting for us behind there. Our advantage is of course having the Astora Straight Sword, therefore not really having to worry about anything. Umbral Ash required ahead, so as I said, you need to get the ash from over there to get the key to this door. There's some interesting stuff behind this door by the way, but we'll get to that. Nothing really else to see in here. We've got the blood bite ring for killing that giant rat, and if you remember the bite rings from the other Dark Souls games, they work exactly the same. They just raise your resistance to certain status ailments, and this one of course is bleeding, increases bleed resistance. One of the bite rings native to Karim. The crafting of these rings is forbidden, perhaps owing to the fear of malleable stone clerics, however dabble freely in the art. Clerics of Karim there. I believe the bite rings in Dark Souls 1 were referred to be sort of pretty evil creations by the Earl of Karim, who was a pretty sadistic guy in the first place. So we've linked up these two bonfires now. It's going to give us a quicker run between here and to the area we're going to head to first thing next episode. We're going to head back to the shrine. We've only got a couple minutes left. We'll probably catch up with Cornyx. Can't even remember his name, we just met him a second ago. What do we have here? We've got 2 Estus shards. Wow, I didn't even realise that. Once we get a transposing kiln, we're going to use Vort's Soul, by the way. I just realised we still had that in our inventory, but there's a reason for that, because in this game there's a lot better stuff you can transpose boss souls, isn't there? No, not a lot, Estus. Reinforce Estus. Reinforce again.
Be careful.
Will do, Andre. Thank you very much. And here he is.
Ah, there you are, unkindled one. I wish to express my gratitude for trusting the lowly pyromancer and allowing me to gaze upon this majestic flame. As promised, I will impart pyromancies to you. But first, you'll need a flame of your own. Careful you don't burn yourself with it.
So we've got a pyromancy flame for nothing, which is great, and you can reinforce it right here for Titanite shards. We're not really going to do that right now, we don't really need to. Purchase item, you can buy Cornyx's set, let's see. Attire of the Pyromancers of the Great Swamp, comprised of bronze ornamentation and animal pelt. In the Great Swamp, bronze was used ritualistically to ward off evil spirits and keep darkness at bay. See, in the Great Swamp it is thought that adorning oneself with natural fauna would provide protection from the flames of pyromancy. So you can see that the life of a pyromancer is a life of endless trudging through marshland. The Great Swamp seems almost sort of primitive and animalistic and ritualistic in this game. They're not quite as advanced as the rest of them, but they love the rituals and things for it. Here's your pyromancies: Flash Sweat to reduce your fire damage, Great Combustion, Fire Surge, and of course Fireball. Since we've got the souls for it, I'm going to buy Fireball. I don't really care for Fire Surge all that much, but it's good to just have an option. You haven't got another option to do here, but what you're going to find for all the mage sort of people in this game, you're going to get a Miracles woman end up here, perhaps a intelligence guy hanging around, and eventually a sort of hex dark magic woman. They all need tomes to sort of increase their spells, much like you need to give Ash to the Handmaiden to increase your items you can buy. Tomes will increase the amount of spells you can buy. Grey Rat is gone, as you can see, he's away pillaging. Then all throughout the game we're going to find some tomes, but depending on who you give the tomes to can actually mess up an NPC quest line, so I'm going to try and remember not to mess it up and show you guys how to actually finish them all correctly. Before we go, since we're all out of time, check these worker trousers. Nothing really to see. Naturally, the ceremonial significance of such long work is long forgotten. Yeah, so they're just insane hollow men who now have no real role in life. It's a shame. But did we pick anything else up? No. Master stuff. Steel soldier helm, knight helm. Picked up the cestus, and the reason I'm going to bring it to your attention is if you are a PvPer, because it is one of the fastest parrying items in the game. So if you can learn to get your parry timings down, although it offers you no actual shield protection, it allows you to sort of back off and just get someone. So if you're going to PvP, looking at the cestus, especially since it has a much lower requirements than things like the target shield and the buckler. I thought that was the buckler, but it is not. We're not really going to care about that right now. There's no point. Just making sure this is a... yeah. We don't really need to care about that because we're not really going to PvP right now. We might at a later date. We want to change up though. I don't want to go in with a straight sword, heavy armour and stuff like that. It's just the epitome of what people hate right now. I know it's not really what we care about, the community ideas, but you wanna take part and you wanna have fun. You don't want to just be in it to win it, as it were. I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, share it around, let people know about me, and most importantly, tune in for some future episodes. I want to thank you guys yet again, and we're going to take a little rest here. But until next time, I'm Noodle in the North. Goodbye.